Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about Madison Russo. She is one of the worst people that I've ever come across. She faked cancer and did a GoFundMe scam, and I have a whole lot to say about it. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so Madison Russo has been discussed a lot as of lately, and I've been kind of sitting back and seeing some of the updates that have come out, and I'm ready to talk about this. I am so disgusted, and I'm going to try to not say disgusted 59 times during this video, but anyone who can not only scam people, but specifically fake an illness or injury in order to get money out of people, I think that they are the worst human beings on earth, aside, right there next to child and animal abusers. I think they are the scum of the human beings as a whole. I'm just in shock and disbelief that anybody could do this and live with themselves. And I know that this is a sore topic for a lot of people, myself included. I think that most of us have known somebody in our family or friend group, or maybe even a distant relative or something, that has either had cancer and beat it, which is awesome, or unfortunately, the other side of it, which is my experience, family members who have had cancer and lost their battle. It is the hardest thing to ever witness somebody going through. It is the worst feeling to witness somebody that you love go through that and watch them try to deal with pain, and then some people lose their hair because of the treatment that they're going through. And then there are the financial side of things where some people can't afford the medication that they need in order to help make themselves comfortable. And there are just so many different, different directions of how it's the worst thing ever. And I would not wish it on anybody. And so to think about somebody lying in order to get money makes me very angry. So I will give you guys a brief rundown and then share an update that came out a few weeks ago. A 19-year-old Iowa woman has been charged with bilking hundreds of donors out of more than $37,000 by lying on TikTok and GoFundMe about battling pancreatic cancer and having a tumor the size of a football, police said. Madison Russo was arrested on January 23rd on a first-degree theft charge, a felony punishable in Iowa by up to 10 years in prison. Police said Russo faked having stage 2 pancreatic cancer, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and a tumor the size of a football wrapped around her spine. The accused con artist documented her bogus cancer battle on TikTok and a GoFundMe page through which she had raised $37,303 from more than 439 unsuspecting donors. Additionally, police said Russo gave talks about her made-up health struggles at St. Ambrose University, where she was a student, and at the National Pancreatic Foundation, a claim the Chicago-based nonprofit has denied as inaccurate. Russo also once appeared on the Project Purple podcast, where a spokesperson described the situation as unfortunate and justified the woman's appearance on the show by saying, at the time, there was no reason not to believe Maddie's story.
It's extremely physically exhausting, but also the mental part of it, I think it's 10 times worse. And I think anybody that has struggled with anything when it comes to kind of like their mental health, people say it is a lot worse, and I can fully attest to that. It's so true. But sometimes I just need to step back.
Her story began to unravel on January 11th when anonymous witnesses claiming to be medical professionals reached out to authorities, saying they noticed many medical discrepancies in the teen's social media posts about her purported cancer battle. Essentially, she shared this photo where she had a bunch of medical tape and IVs and all of this kind of stuff going on. And people who actually know what the hell they're talking about in the medical field were calling all of this into question and pointing out the issues with what she was presenting.
What is going on with that chest port? I am not a chemo nurse.
Never done anything like this, but I want to see if it's actually true. Definitely not comfortable, but I could see if you taped it, you could make it work. This is one of my son's old G-tubes. Well, not G-tubes, but food bags. You also have to shove this piece really far up there to get where she was, where she just had the slightest amount of purple showing. My nose is big, but it ain't that big. If you have to go that far to fake a disability, shame on you.
Keeping it real. It's days like these that are hard, and I try my best to stay positive and think that, you know, after my chemo was, after my week of chemo is done, after, you know, round 3 is done, and I get, you know, a break until the next round of chemo. But sometimes it's hard to think like that when you're in so much pain and discomfort, and everything is just going the wrong way. And it's just kind of, I just have different mixed emotions. And, you know, with my hair and stuff like that, that's obviously a big fear. Obviously, as a girl, it's, you know, girls, like, hair is a big part of everybody's lives. But to think of the potential of losing it, or it's just kind of one more thing in the fire that is hard. So hopefully nothing else falls out. And it's kind of been a little eventful week. In the cancer world, eventful is not good. I'd rather have an uneventful week because it means you're kind of just coasting along. But I've had a little bump in the road. So it's my week off chemo. So I've just been doing radiation. However, I've kind of came down with this fever. It's been really weird because I don't feel like sick. I don't really have like a cold or like sore throat, any of the other symptoms. I don't have COVID. I don't have any of that. I just have this like nagging fever and kind of just like that feeling of being like, you know, like run down and stuff like that. So finally I got labs taken, and my lab results came back yesterday afternoon. And it showed that my ANC and white blood counts, those two like run together, was really low, and it's most likely coming off of the chemo from last week. And then, you know, your immune system is so weak because you have like no immune system when you're going through treatment. So then I have a fever, and still doing round 3 of chemo. And I'm not gonna lie, it has been a rough night. As you can probably tell by my appearance, it's not been fun. I haven't really slept all night. I've been puking all night. I feel so weak, so just like kind of like woozy. I've kind of been puking up until the morning as well. And I was supposed to go to radiation this morning, it being a Wednesday morning.
Investigators said Russo also allegedly stole photos shared by real cancer patients and presented them as her own. These are the worst people ever. How? I just don't even understand. I don't. When police executed a search warrant at Russo's apartment, they seized a brown paper bag containing medical supplies, an IV pole with a feeding pump filled with cotton swabs, a wig, and pills for nausea, in a relative's name, according to court documents. Investigators also subpoenaed Russo's medical records and found that the teen had never been diagnosed with any form of cancer or tumor at any of the medical facilities in the area where she had been a patient. In an October 2022 interview with the North Scott Press, Russo claimed she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer on February 10th and with leukemia a few months later. I remember hanging up the phone and I was a mess, she told the Iowa news outlet. I was literally bawling, but somehow I ended up getting the courage to wipe away my tears and went back into class, which now I think about it was pretty crazy. Russo said doctors gave her an 11% survival rate for 5 years before discovering the massive, supposedly inoperable tumor on her spine. Russo claimed in the interview that between February and October of last year, she underwent 15 rounds of chemotherapy and 90 rounds of radiation. I just don't even understand. It's also mind-blowing to me. I don't have a lot to add to it because it's all just so obvious. I cannot wait to hear her sentencing. They better get her ass, because it's not even just like the money thing, like that is obviously a lot of it, but just the ability to lie about something so devastating that has affected so many people is insane to me. Life has been crazy, she said. It's like a catch-22. I can't win for losing. I feel like I've been rocked to my soul, and right now everything is uncertain. Despite her medical struggles, she also tried to claim that she maintained a 4.0 GPA and had a part-time job at John Deere while golfing in her free time. Now, since all of this has happened, everybody that sent money to the GoFundMe has been refunded, and Madison has been banned from GoFundMe. And the really interesting thing that a lot of people are talking about is her mother. So her mother is taking the stance of, oh, I didn't know anything. Her mother's name is Peggy. So Peggy supposedly didn't know anything. And I want to know how you guys feel about that, because there is no way that I would be getting national attention and all of this, love on social media, and my parent not know anything about it. There's just no way that that would happen. I think that her mother did know something, and I guess we'll find out more as more information comes forward, but I just don't believe that. Tell me how you guys feel. Now, this update says the woman accused of bilking donors out of more than $37,000 with fake cancer diagnosis has asked prosecutors to return the $33,230.76 seized by the Elk Ridge police. Madison Russo filed earlier this month in Scott County Court for a return of funds seized from 2 U.S. bank accounts in her name and a third in the names of Madison Russo and Peggy Russo, her mother. Russo is charged with, it goes through her charges again. She pleaded not guilty. The investigation began after medical professionals looking at her GoFundMe noticed the inaccuracies. The court filing claimed that the money in the 3 accounts came from lawful employment, gifts, and loans, and she was not involved in any conduct giving rise to forfeiture. She wasn't aware of any alleged conduct. Oh my God, this woman. Now, the other interesting connection that has been brought to the forefront is that allegedly the guy who helped her create this GoFundMe is somebody who she was allegedly having an affair with. So that has also been talked about. He's a married guy, and now his involvement is being questioned as well. There are a ton of breakdowns of this situation all over YouTube. I'm sure that a lot of y'all have already heard it, but I wanted to bring it to you guys because I don't understand how people can even do this, but I really want to know how you guys feel about the situation with her mom. Like, did her mom know? Was her mom involved? And just hoping to not go down for this? what was her role? Because I'm saying Madison was receiving a ton of attention on social media and from other, places as well. You can't tell me that mom just didn't know anything at all. And as far as Madison goes, I know she's facing up to 10 years. I would like to see her receive 10 years. And that might be unpopular. Some people might think that that is overkill. But with these scams where people are using illness or injury in order to get money from people who are giving out of the kindness of their own hearts, there needs to be an example set. And if it can be set with Madison serving or being sentenced to 10 years, and maybe she serves 8 and then gets out, like that would be better than a year in probation. Because it needs to be set very clear for anybody else who might even be thinking about this. You will get found out. You're not going to be able to just, run this fraud scheme, say that you're sick or say that your kid is sick or say that you're, I've even seen people do fake scams with sick pets. It is disgusting. It is so, so, so disgusting. It is the lowest form of trying to get money, trying to get sympathy. How dare you? So I hope that Madison is sentenced to the maximum penalty. And I hope that anyone else even considering this, maybe they'll think twice if they see what has happened with her. So have you guys heard about this situation? Are you following it? I'll link some other YouTube videos down below if you want a super detailed breakdown. I've seen some longer form content on it, but as always, I was upset and I want to come to you guys and talk about it. So that's going to be it for now. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.